Today, I just woke up to a ping on my phone, and the ping was about a visa bulletin update that showed the priority dates for the EB1A have retrogressed to 2012. Now, I know you might have a lot of questions going on in your mind, so I'm making this video first thing in the morning to help you understand what this practically means for you. A lot of people are panicking. This has a lot of nuances to understand exactly why you do not need to panic. So please watch this video carefully till the end. I'll be quick and to the point, as with all my videos, I promise. So let's get in. Now, before anything else, I need to quickly mention to you that I'm not an immigration attorney and nothing that I say is legal advice. I'm making this video purely from personal experience, doing it myself and helping hundreds of people build their EB1A profile successfully through the Smart Green Card program, and my deeper conversations this morning with top-ranking attorneys that have partnered with us as well. For those who don't know what a priority date is, I have another video on my channel that I'll link in the description below, so please go watch that. You know, in simple terms, it's essentially just your spot in the whole green card line, and it keeps moving forward or backward based on the demand in any given month. So for the past few months, this priority final action date for EB1A has hovered around 12 to 15 months backlog versus a 12-year backlog or more that was in place for EB2 and EB3. But today, the August 2023 bulletin that just came out shows the EB1A backlog or the EB1 backlog as 144 months. This is what we are talking about. Firstly, from experience, I can tell you that such large movements in the EB1A priority date, it might be a new thing to you, but this is not uncommon. I myself have been through one such scenario in exactly the same month a few years ago. My priority date was current when I applied in January, but around August, there was a 3 to 4 year backlog that appeared on the visa bulletin out of nowhere. But the truth is that I got my green card in about 7 months after that. So given my personal experience, what does this retrogression really mean for you? I have a theoretical explanation for that and a practical explanation. So let's just double click and dive deeper into both of them. Theoretically, if you look at the visa bulletin carefully, USCIS themselves have told that the reason that the backlog is 2012 is that there's a lot of people with older priority dates that ported to EB1, and the oldest priority date on there is 2012, which is why specifically 2012 was chosen till the end of this fiscal year, which is October 2023. They have also mentioned that there is a high likelihood that in October, which is the start of the next fiscal year, it will return to at least the levels of July 2023 visa bulletin, which is back to like a 12 to 15 month backlog, which is largely manageable. USCIS is generally very, very conservative with their guidance and transparency. I mean, you look at all their past visa bulletins and you'll see that they're very conservative in what they say. Despite that, them giving this specific guidance is giving me all the reasons to believe that this is a temporary thing. And even logically, it does look like a temporary thing, and let me explain to you why. But I think this is a move from them just so they can get rid of the older priority dates that have upgraded to the EB1 and then move on to the newer ones, such as yourself, which if you're watching this video, then I'm assuming you are in this journey and you're freaking out about this priority date change. But practically, the real question you need to ask is, despite everything, what are your other options? And does the EB1A still present itself as the best option? And if the answer to that is yes, it makes all the sense to move ahead and pursue your journey in that. So let's unpack that a little bit. Look, the EB1A priority dates have moved a lot. That's the truth. I am an example, and there was a 3-year backlog, like I said, that got reduced to 5 to 7 months in a few months, and then everything was good. So also, this backlog queue for any category only factors in the people that got their I-140s approved in any category and filed the 485 final step while their priority date was current. Now, unlike EB2 and EB3, where virtually everyone that applies with an ordinary profile through their employer gets their I-140 approved and in that way enters the queue, it's not a surprise that the EB1A is infinitely harder to get the I-140 approved in the first place, which is why people spend several months and years building their profiles and take programs like ours to help them to get there, etc. But it is evident that USCIS is also strengthening or tightening scrutiny and standards for even I-140 approvals for the EB1A. So all in all, I'm here to say that it's not a park that everyone can just walk into. There are high standards for you to even get into that queue, which is why anyone and everyone that tries for the EB1A does not end up getting into the backlog and clogging it. They have to qualify and get their I-140s approved, which is currently like a 50% approval rate or something like that, unlike the EB2 and EB3, which is in the high 80s or 90% approval rate, I believe. So historically, EB1 priority dates are much more volatile, so it is logical to infer that EB1 priority dates move much quickly and jump farther than EB2 or EB3 for all the reasons that I mentioned so far, plus USCIS's guidelines as well. So given this, I think comparing the EB2 and EB3 saga or drama to the EB1, what's happening with the EB1 right now is a little more of an apples to oranges comparison, which we shouldn't break our heads that much after. But the more important thing to remember is basically the age-old saying, which is preparation meeting opportunity. You can only use an opportunity when there is preparation involved in it. So remember you saying, oh, I wish I was born a decade sooner so I would not have faced the EB2 backlogs, or more recently, I wish I knew this a few years ago so I could have used all my opportunities and time in the past preparing for the EB1A. This is another such moment. Objectively looking at the data and what USCIS is telling, it's clear that this is temporary, could last till October. You don't want to be in that situation where you're the one that isn't able to strike immediately when the iron, which is the priority date, is hot, which is current again, just because you lost hope and stopped all your prep swinging to the beats of a visa bulletin. If I thought there was a backlog and immediately stopped all my prep, then I wouldn't have had a green card now and every other opportunity that came with the green card. I was in your exact same shoes, suffering the exact problem a few years ago, and I need you to use my story as much as possible to give you hope to continue your journey as well. And lastly, I want to make sure that we don't leave out the career ramifications of this. I know we are all pursuing for the green card, for the EB1A, and I know doing it myself and also helping hundreds of people in the Smart Green Card program, by the time they are done with that, they are about 3 to 5 years more advanced or evolved in their careers than they would otherwise have been. And this is because of all the exposure that this process brings, all the career acceleration that you legitimately have to do in order to rise to the top of a field. And almost everyone have changed their jobs immediately in the next about 2 to 3 months after getting their EB1A approved to at least 2 levels above wherever they were, and commanded at least a 30 to 50% raise in their pay as a result. So at the end, it's definitely worth it in all ways, including your immigration as well as your career journey. So I urge you to not be myopic. And if you are in the immigrant journey like us, the EB1A is still an all-rounder vehicle to boost your professional and immigration journey. 2 birds killed with the exact one stone called the EB1A. Thank you for watching this video. I have included a lot more details in the description, and you can anytime visit smartgreencard.com for the latest information. And if you have any questions, please email me or my team at support@simonshetty.com or drop a comment in the comment section below, and my team is here to serve you. Always rooting for you. This is Simon. Cheers.